depending on what that looked like, it either sounded really good or really bad. What is up, my friends? Good morning. It is an absolutely beautiful Monday morning. Here in Arkansas, it's rainy and, well, it's still beautiful. Because my grass is growing like a motherfucker. All in my yard. It's growing up in places where it ain't never grew before. My sweet little puppy Bendy. Long gone now. Where she dug my yard up, that's all healed now. Man, I just wanted to log in this morning and tell you that I love you and I care about you, and I'm thinking about you, and I am praying for you, and that you're worthy, that you're a badass. So look at all you have been through up to this point. And I've got mixed feelings about this week. For one, there is reason to celebrate because Omarosa is pulling a Michael Wolf on the established media freaks. And two, Alice in Chains is coming out with a new album. Now, I'm mixed feelings about both. Let's address Alice in Chains. Man, it's been a long time. So, yeah, it's going to be good. You know it's going to be good. Come on. And one, Omarosa pulling the Michael Wolf. They don't really quote Michael Wolf anymore. Do you see Michael Wolf on the air? But they was all over the Michael Wolf book right there at the beginning. Omarosa. I can't make up my mind whether she is working with Trump right now and doing this, she's working with Kelly right now doing this, or she's obviously trying to sell books. I mean, if you watched fucking Chuck Todd, the retard, who has ruined one of the best political shows ever in the history of television, with his dumbassery and retardedness and his, look, Chuck Toddness. That piece of shit put her on, and it was hilarious. And she just tried to sell books. And I'll bet you she might have had somebody else was going to put her on a little bit later, and I bet they didn't because of that. Because she kept trying to sell her book. That was all it was about, trying to sell a book and make a little bit of money out of it. So she recorded herself being fired quite amicably, actually. She had issues, apparently. She might have been a leaker. I don't know. We'll see. But, he was trying to let her save face, and it was kind of obvious. Now, racism, because that is where this leads. That's a good segue into Charlottesville and this other shit. I saw a clip that there was about a mile of tiki torches, and I can remember last year someone saying somebody just handed me a tiki torch. I didn't know what they were like maybe 100 people chanting some kind of stupid shit, and then the rest of the people down behind them couldn't even hear what they were chanting. They were just walking. Just normal fucking people. Which is what Donald Trump meant. That there were people there who were there to say, I don't want Robert E. Lee's statue taken down. Not because I believe that blacks are inferior to whites, or that whites are superior to anyone else. Not for any racial reason at all other than Robert E. Lee is part of our history of our country. No matter how you want to believe it, how you want to remember it, the Civil War happened. And we need to be able to say, don't do that again. Look at this example. Plus, they were great tacticians. That was a hard battle to win in the Civil War. Great men do things for the wrong reasons, and they're still great men. It doesn't matter. You wouldn't be able to celebrate anybody, and that's what they want. They want to erase our culture and our heritage and our memory. You know, you don't even think about this, and we don't think about it often at all. It's obvious that there was a culture and a history of advanced people before Romans, before Sumerians, before the Egyptians. We're talking thousands of years. And yet, do it teach that? No. They tell you that the Incas built Machu Picchu or wherever, all these other places. They tell you that the Egyptians built the things that they had. But no, the Egyptians happened upon them and converted them and used them. You can tell there are, like I've said before, giant blocks of stone that we couldn't even move today. All over the planet. Easter Island, Machu Picchu, all over Egypt, Mesopotamia, India, Indonesia. But do the people talk about that? About that there was more before the Old Testament history? No. Why? History revision? Something happened that we're not, they don't want people to know that there was more than 2 or 3 or 4 races, that there was actually more than humans. Maybe extraterrestrial, I don't know. I don't care. I just know that there was something there and that we're not being taught that. So our history of the world is bunk as we know it anyway. Because it stops before history starts. So who's to say that the way we remember things now isn't different? Because now listen, there were people all over the TV this weekend saying that Trump he didn't react properly. He didn't call out white nationalists by name, but he did. He did. They're saying that race is worse now than it was before Trump. But we were having full-on race riots before Trump. Why do we not remember that? Full-on race riots. Now the worst thing I got to talk about is he doesn't want football players to distract from the game of football. Doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, it's time to go to work. There goes the boy. It must be 6. Think about it. We're all being played with, and that's what the media is doing, especially if you're liberal. Please think about this. You're being played like a motherfucker. And I can see where they're trying to play me and us. But you got to look at it that way, like they're all trying to play you. Don't just believe one side because you agree with it. Find all information suspect. Trust me. Look around and think. I love you, and I'm praying for you. I'm thinking about you. And you are worthy. You're a bad motherfucker, as evident by all the shit you've been through so far. Have a great week. Enjoy life. Do something for somebody else, by the way. Have a good one.
Lil Doggy.
Yeah, I just hope you know you're a bad motherfucker.